A top line from you, Professor?
I would say it was exactly what I expected. This is his first address. He had many boxes to check, and he checked every one of them. It reminded me in that sense of a Bill Clinton State of the Union address. But, you know, Joe Biden started out as a blue-collar, labor-oriented Democrat when he was elected to the Senate in 1972. He's still there. That's what he is. And most of the rhetoric was relatively mild. That is, this was more of a conversation than any kind of dramatic speech. But he was speaking, yes, to the middle of the country, but he was mainly speaking to Democrats to let them know that if you agree with this agenda, and by and large they do, you'd better work hard to get as much of it as possible passed as quickly as possible before our majorities disappear.
Jobs, union jobs, bringing people out of poverty, and the blue-collar blueprint to build back America. That's the one line that stood out for me. I wonder if there was one for you and if you'd expand on it.
Well, I would actually agree with that, because what he was saying, essentially, by focusing so much on blue collars and then also contrasting it with the wealthy corporations and those making $400,000 or more. Believe me, that was being cheered by blue collar workers who probably voted for Donald Trump. And that's his hope of expanding the Democratic coalition. So I think people will rightly focus on what he did to appeal to voters he didn't get.
Took a lot of shots at CEOs tonight, you know, not out of character and not off the moment. Some of his stats about wage inequity and pay gap and the rising fortunes of the richest in the country, many of whom enjoy the programming on this channel. They were a target, and the polls suggest that target is a winning target. But being able to separate the idea that the very wealthy and the corporations will pay more, as President Biden put it, their fair share, and that anyone who makes less than $400,000 will pay no more taxes. I don't know if that's a message that's been drilled well enough yet, and if it's not something we might hear more about.
Oh, we're going to hear a lot more about it, because that is a very popular message with a wide variety of Democratic constituencies and also independents, because the vast majority of Americans make a heck of a lot less than $400,000 a year, and an even larger majority are not CEOs. So you can be sure that that's going to be emphasized by the Democrats in Congress, not just by President Biden. It's going to help him until he has to go to CEOs or corporations to work with him on something. Yeah. But they're used to it. This is classic Democratic populist rhetoric.
Yep. 45 seconds to Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina. What is his mission tonight?
He's got to present a reasonable face of the Republican Party, and he's the best person to do it. I think they made a very wise choice in picking him for the response. People will like what they see. He is not somebody with sharp edges, and he kind of contradicts the image of the Republican Party developed during the Trump years.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.